Currently, less than 1 in 4 of our 17 to 24-year-olds are fully qualified to serve their country. It becomes more important as the other education aspect we're here to talk about is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, the ASVAB test. To qualify for military service, a young person must score 30 or higher on that test. However, simply scoring a 30 or less than 50 puts a young person in a category in which they can find themselves closed out from the full spectrum of opportunities in the military. At this point in fiscal year 12, we have already closed out 15 military occupational specialties to those that score less than 50 on the ASVAB. And that's just in the Army. I'm not talking for the other services.
We have a mission somewhere between 36 to about 50 qualified seniors. And to a lot of you guys, it seems as if it's a small number. And when we say 35 to 50, we're talking about 35 to 50 qualified seniors that can score above 50% on our ASVAB testing. For the last 3 fiscal years, the St. Louis Recruiting Company has not been able to achieve its assigned senior missioning. But it's sad when we have a valedictorian that we stood in the auditorium, see many of them walk across the stage, and she came up to test, and she only scored a 4. A 4.
The ineligibility rates in our area, 21.8% of the young people in Missouri are not able to meet the minimum requirements. That's the 1 in 5%, basically. In the St. Louis district area, St. Louis Public School District area, it's higher than that. Of the 6 high schools in one station that does conduct a voluntary ASVAB, student ASVAB, in their schools, the average AFQT score is 24. They're locked out of today's military.
So not that this committee needed any more pressure added to it, but what you're hearing here today is how the educational, or the lack of quality education in areas where we normally would pool a lot of our resources going into the Army, we are affecting what is truly a crisis in national defense.
The last 2 years, both of my children have attended Maplewood High School and junior high. Last year, we had a voucher from the school to allow my children to go there. This year, they were not accepted. And so I had to resort to extreme measures and actually move out to my mother's house. I don't want to move out of the city of St. Louis. I was born and raised in the city of St. Louis. I love the city of St. Louis. It's a wonderful city. It's a lovely city. Our school system sucks.
My name is Tristan Hollingsworth. I've been moving around schools quite frequently lately. Within the past 4 years, I've had 3 school changes. And I think I just want some sort of stability in my life, so I can just sit down and have a life where I'm happy again. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel a great education should come to me, considering I've put a lot of work in to be a good student, but I just don't have the mental capacity to even think about trying anymore. I feel like I want to give up because nobody wants to accept me. I feel isolated, and I just don't know what to do anymore.
Our population loss is directly attributable to and related to the scarcity of quality public schools in the city of St. Louis. All of our population loss over the past 10 years can be attributable to the loss of families with children.
I love my profession with the St. Louis Fire Department and serving the people of this city. But as everyone is aware, the city of St. Louis has a residency requirement for city employees. While my wife and I truly love our home and our neighborhood, this rule has effectively locked our children in a failing public school system. Compounding matters is the fact that our 7-year-old son, Benjamin, has a developmental disability known as Williams syndrome. Illustrating the real concerns of the SLPS was the presence of a financial officer at one of our IEP meetings. It became all too clear that the district could not and would not provide a safe and competent educational environment.
And in my opinion, that solution is giving these parents a choice to send their students to a school within their local area, it doesn't have to be a public school. It has to be a school that those parents choose. And the neighboring adjacent districts will have some spaces for some students who want to come out and do that as an option. That should still remain on the table, but I just can't see another 10 or 15 or 20 years going by with the current system in place.
We have a problem, and we're saying that we want the laws that are already on the books to be enforced by your committees and by legislation so that these students can be transferred into schools that are accredited. Then our suggestion would be that perhaps in the law or in the bill that you're writing, that you will also consider funding to be available to substantiate or support further tutorial training that will be before and after school programming, so that those students that are behind, and there are thousands of them, will be given an opportunity or ample opportunity to catch up so that they can compete on the national level upon graduation.
This year we've awarded more than $2.3 million in scholarship assistance to the children who are enrolled here today. Our students come from 37 different zip codes. 46 are city residents. 50% live in the county and 4% come from Illinois. 90% of them all live in unaccredited or underperforming public school districts.
We are willing to accept many of those students into our schools. Our schools are accredited and are known for having provided quality education for the children attending for many years. We have 5,700 empty seats right now in our city and county elementary schools, and another 2,000 empty seats in the high schools.
I've traveled from Kansas City today to express my support for the proposed tax credit, which will support parents who have children in public school districts and have lost accreditation, which would allow parents in the Kansas City area to have their education hopefully through the Kansas City, or one option would be for the Kansas City St. Joe Diocese schools. At the high school level, our average ACT score for the 2010-11 school year is 24.7, as compared to 16.4 for the Kansas City School District and 21.6 for all Missouri school students across the state.
Another legislative answer that would help meet our needs, the mandatory age of attendance in the state of Missouri is 7. And when you say that to the general populace, they don't believe you, that kindergarten is an option in the state of Missouri. It would be good to lower the mandatory age to age 5. We all know, whether it's Head Start, parents as teachers, First Steps, if we're going to answer the problems with public education, we have to start at square one. All the education experts agree with this. It's early childhood education. That's where we have to start. What is the top performing high school in the city of St. Louis? In the state of Missouri? It's in the city of St. Louis. What's the top performing middle school in the city of It's in the state of Missouri. It's in the city of St. Louis. The top performing elementary school is in the city of St. Louis. And yes, we have some of the poorly performing schools that rank down with the charter schools, none of which do well in the city of St. Louis. So we're all over the place, but we have some of the best options currently right now in the state. It's one of those things that people should look at, the actual data and statistics.
I'm here to ask you to repeal Missouri Revised Statute 167-131. This statute, which allows students from unaccredited districts to attend school in adjoining districts, puts an undue burden on all the affected school districts.